There are some amazing enlightening movies out there that we are also going to list in today's video. From Inception to Eat, Pray, Love, we've got a good collection for you, so let's get started. Number 10, Mr. Nobody. This came out in 2009 as a wild sci-fi movie that blew people away. The movie, directed by Jaco van Dormael and stars Jared Leto, is about Nemo Nobody, who's 118 years old and the last person alive on Earth. No matter what Nemo does, the movie takes us on a wild ride through different versions of his life. He goes from living one life to living a completely different one because of a small choice he made. Nemo's in a house with many rooms, and each choice he makes opens a new door that leads him to a different place. It goes deep into the idea of many universes, or lots of parallel worlds where different forms of Nemo are living separate lives. Scientists are still not sure about this idea, but it has been a favorite in fiction. Number 9, Eat, Pray, Love. Julia Roberts plays the famous author Elizabeth Gilbert in Eat, Pray, Love. After her divorce, Gilbert goes on a world tour. In her search for meaning, she travels the world in search of spiritual awakening, tasty food, and personal growth. Elizabeth starts her trip to Italy, where she enjoys every food. She wants to enjoy the good things in life while she figures out what makes her truly happy. After that, she goes to India to work on her spirituality and learn how to calm her mind. When she finally gets to Bali, things start to get interesting. Elizabeth meets an old wise medicine man in Bali who tells her how to find balance between the material world and spiritual things. She falls in love with him as she learns and grows, which was not expected. Their relationship is a great example of how leaving a bad situation and focusing on yourself can help you find a great partner. Number 8, I Origins. I Origins is a movie that looks into life's big secrets, beginning with the amazing eye. It looks at how science and religion can clash and was directed by Mike Cahill. Michael Pitt plays Dr. Ian Gray, a scientist who wants to make an eye out of living things with his lab partner, Britt Marling, who plays Karen. Because he is so interested in the eye and its project, he almost loses interest when he meets Sophie at a Halloween party. The fact that they are connected makes him question his very scientific view of life. Sophie is spiritual and thinks there's a world beyond this one. It's dangerous to play God, she tells Ian. When Sophie dies suddenly, it's a sad end to their relationship. After 7 years, Ian marries his lab helper, and the two of them keep working to show that vision is not a divine gift, but rather the result of evolution. Sophie tries to get Ian to see beyond science, but Ian's still stubborn. When he starts to think he might not be able to see the spiritual side of life, his fixation on his eyes becomes funny. When Ian meets an Indian girl whose eyes look just like Sophie's, everything changes. He starts to see how much she looks like his late wife. Ian starts to think that there might be more to life than just science after this event. Number 7, Her. This sci-fi movie from 2013 is very different and makes you think. Theodore Twombly, played by Joaquin Phoenix, is all about Samantha, an AI virtual helper whose voice is done by Scarlett Johansson. Theodore starts to talk to her. People have thought about the connection between humans and robots before, but this movie goes further. It asks if a robot that can talk and have real chats could also feel things and meet our emotional needs. Theodore is a writer who is lonely and can't connect with other people. He's also married and doesn't want to end it. As he talks to Samantha about his love life and wife, he starts to like her. Even though their relationship's weird, he still chooses to date her. When he learns that Samantha's talking to thousands of people like him at the same time, things change. She leaves him in the end, but won't say where she's going next. Number 6, Inception. A lot of thought goes into the idea that our dreams and inner mind have a big effect on our lives in Inception. Cobb, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, is a skilled thief in this movie by Christopher Nolan. He uses a special machine and a group of brain hackers to get into people's thoughts. That sounds great, right? Well, it's not all fun and games, though. It can be very dangerous to keep going into dreams and living there. Cobb's wife goes on to these dream trips with him, but she gets so lost that she can't tell the difference between dreams and real life. She starts to feel like she's dreaming even when she's awake. She chooses to jump off a hotel balcony because she thinks it will wake her up, but she dies in the fall. Cobb tries to reason with her, but she won't listen. The death of his wife still haunts him greatly, and he sees her in his dreams all the time. In her dreams, she keeps trying to get him to stay with her. Cobb still has a firm grip on reality, and he finally makes it out of the dream world to be with his kids. Number 5, The Secret Garden. The Secret Garden is a British fairy tale movie from 2020 that's based on a famous book from 1911. The story is about a young girl named Mary Lennox who loses her parents and has to move in with her uncle in his big house. Mary is told by a strict maid not to look around, but she does anyway and finds a secret garden. Her wheelchair-bound cousin Colin comes to the yard with her the next day. Colin starts to feel the magic of the garden as they look around and want to go for a walk again. At the same time, there's a fire in the house, and the uncle is desperately looking for his son. Mary is brave enough to go into the house that's on fire and let her uncle know that Colin is safe in the yard. The movie shows how the uncle feels about losing his wife, and now being too protective of his son hurts him. The garden is a wonderful place where issues are solved, wounds are healed, and restrictions are lifted. The uncle feels better when Colin starts to walk. The story shows how a girl's bravery and interest can help her get better and move on from her pain. Number 4, The Age of Adeline. The Age of Adeline's about a young woman named Adeline who was born in the early 1900s. She's played by Blake Lively. She's going through a stormy night when she has a car crash that ends her life. For her, this gift is more like a curse. She stays young forever while everyone else around her ages and dies. It breaks her heart to see her dog and daughter get old and die. Because she's afraid of losing people she cares about, she stays alone, moving from city to city and avoiding connections. When she meets Ellis Jones, her life changes. They fall in love, and she agrees to meet his family. But things get tricky when she learns that Ellis's dad is her old flame, which is a big surprise. The movie plays with the idea that many people want to live forever, but it might not be a gift. Number 3, Lucy. People talked a lot about Lucy because of its main idea. In the movie, Scarlett Johansson plays a woman whose boyfriend is a drug runner for a Korean crime boss. She gives in to his trick and does his job. They put drugs in a bag and put it inside her. When the bag breaks, the drugs start to make her act crazy. She starts to get superpowers like telepathy and telekinesis, and she even stops feeling pain. She talks to Professor Samuel Norman, who studies how the brain works. Lucy lets him into a big part of her brain which has never been seen before. Even though he wants to help her, she ends up doing his study for him. The movie's main theme is how powerful the mind is. It shows how money and fame can make people lazy and stop them from reaching their full potential. Number 2, The Truman Show. Truman Burbank's a normal guy on The Truman Show. He sells insurance and has a calm, normal life. Suddenly, he learns that his whole life is a big TV show. The set, the cameras, and the players are all a part of this fake world. Even though Truman doesn't know he's on TV, he starts to feel nervous as strange things happen. He sees his dead dad, but the director of the show comes up with a good reason. Then Truman meets Lauren, who tells him in secret that they are on a huge TV set that's being run by the show's director. She's taken away and told she's crazy. To stop Truman from leaving the island, a fake storm is set up. But he still wants to find the truth, and he's set on finding out what is real no matter what. And number 1, Arrival. A movie called Arrival explores the question of whether there is life on other planets. The show is about a linguistics professor named Louise Banks, played by Amy Adams. The military asks her to help them figure out 12 strange planes that land all over the world. The movie makes you think about what might happen if people could talk to aliens. It's hard to understand and could be dangerous. Louise is brave enough to take off her suit and walk up to the heptapod aliens to show that she trusts them and tries to talk to them. She is brave, and now she starts to get their complicated signals. The movie also looks at how the heptapods see time, which is very different from how people do. They show Louise what will happen in the future, and even though she can see that things will get hard, she still decides to walk the same path. This means that you might not be able to avoid some things, but if you do, you might miss out on the good. The movie also talks about peace, conversation, and understanding on a bigger level. So if you watch any of these videos, tell us about them in the comments section below. And also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.